about the Trump deregulatory agenda?
That's big.
Is this driving earnings at all, or is it more sort of contributing to general good feelings, or not a factor yet?
I think it's affecting both, and let me focus on what I think is misunderstood about regulatory reform. Everyone focuses on, okay, what have you repealed or rolled back? That's only part of it. There's three aspects of regulatory reform. It's what do you rescind, what do you repeal, what do you roll back, but it's also stopping the regulatory encroachment. A lot of businesses don't invest because the uncertainty about what's coming down the pipeline.
It's creep.
And look at what's happened in terms of just this past year, the number of pages in the Federal Registry, which, by the way, is a pretty good litmus test for upcoming regulation. Yep. It dropped 32%. The last part of regulatory reform, which I think is also important, is how it's interpreted and how it's enforced.
Yeah.
If you have very broad interpretation and very strict enforcement, obviously that's more difficult for businesses.
Well, Obama raised the number of federal pages by, what, 18,000 pages or something. So the president has been the most non-regulatory or weaker regulatory president. Tana, final word from you. Has the regulatory impact and the rollback that you've seen from this president impacted you and your business?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you think about just simplification of the taxes, means I'm going to probably save $15,000 to $20,000 just from having to have all the sophisticated preparation done to it. So just simplification of that. The Obamacare, although I thought it was great that it was going to add to people's lives in giving health care, it cost me over $100,000 just to set it up and over $40,000 just to file the 1095-C forms last year. And I only had, out of 10,000 W-2s, I had 18 people accept the ACA. So all it's doing is causing pain to the businesses. It's not adding to the people's lives, which it was intended to do.
That's great.
So I think we really need to look at these regulations, and we really need to say, is it really affecting where we are asking it to be effective?
That's great info, Tana.
I would just point out that the #1 area where we need regulatory reform, and we're on our way, is in your industry, banking. We need capital to go into businesses and small businesses, and the regulatory environment of the past administration strangled that out of being available to businesses, and so small business owners need capital.
Will Jay Powell be on board with that?
I think he will. I think he's going to follow the current administration's blueprint in terms of policy, but I think he's probably going to have a little bit of a lighter touch on the regulatory side.
Lighter touch.
Yep.
All right, well, we'll leave it there. Great to see you, Mike.
Thanks, Maria.
Thank you so much. Tana Greene, good to see you. Thanks very much. Great insights from Tana Greene and Mike Ryan this morning.